Hello, namaste. How are you all? I'm fine. Many times you might have heard that child is the father of man. Yes, just yesterday I read one story. Let me share it with you and then let us discuss about it. It was in the elementary school. The math teacher was teaching in the class and he approached a student famous for his love for mangoes. He looked at the young child and said, "If I give you an apple and then another apple followed by one more, how many apples will you have?" The child started counting like this 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It started counting on the tips of his fingers, stared at the empty space for a few seconds, looked up to exchange a glance with the teacher, and replied thoughtfully, "4." The teacher was little bit confused because it was a simple question and he knew that the child was capable of answering it. Then he thought again. So he repeated his question. "Listen carefully, son. If I give you one apple and one more after that and yet another one thereafter, how many apples will you have?" The young student followed the same process before, stared at the teacher, empty space, and again answered, "Sir, 4." Confidently he answered. Now the teacher got angry, but soon he remembered the child's love for mangoes. He thought of a method to draw his attention better and he modified his question. He changed his question and said, "Okay, answer this now. If I give you a mango, one more mango and then one more, how many mangoes will you have?" An innocent smile surfaced on the child's face, for he was remembered his mangoes. His little thumb hopped on the tips of his pink fingers as he calculated. He got up immediately and he answered, "Sir, 3." The teacher was happy. He clearly understood that it was the child's concentration that was causing all the trouble. Now that he had his student's attention, he decided to get the correct answer to the original question. So again he answered about the apples and the same question. And the child again answered 4. The teacher got really angry now. He started shouting at the kid, "How can you be so dumb? Why can't you pay attention? I am asking you a simple question. If I am giving you mangoes, there are 3. But how is it that if I give you apple, it becomes 4? The child trembled at the shouting. His face turned red and tears welled up in his eyes. "Tell me, how can apples be 4 when mangoes are 3? Are you trying to fool me?" the teacher shouted. The child looked down. Poor child. He had lost the courage to look up or smile. He said softly, "That is because Mummy has given me already an apple for the lunch. I already have one apple with me." You might have imagined how the teacher might have felt. This little story underscores the basis of all differences of opinion and arguments. Many times, you are knowing, we will be thinking something else. The person who listens to us, he might be thinking something else. It is not always necessary that there is only one truth. More often than that, there can be multiple truths regarding a situation, all such paths that lead to the same destination. You are knowing what the child was telling was also correct. When the teacher gives him 3 apples, he was already having 1. So how many apples he will have? 4. He was not having the mangoes, so the mangoes were 3. No matter from which direction you draw a radius, it will always originate from or lead you to the other center of the circle. Am I right? Radius, because it passes through the center. So, any matter can be right by the opinion of different people. For me, the truth might be different, but for you, the truth might be different. That is why truth has never been an absolute entity, and there is a child in everyone. That is why many times we say, child is the father of man. Because children are innocent. They are very, very innocent. They answer as they feel. Here in the story you can see the child. How innocent the child was. The child is already having 1 apple in his tiffin because his mother has given him apple as the lunch. So when the teacher gives 3, it will become 4. Mangoes he doesn't have. So when the teacher gives 3 mangoes, it will be 3 only. So my dear friends, even our life is the same. Many times we argue, we fight with our friends or with others, telling that what I am talking is the truth. Not necessarily. That truth is for me, but for the other person, the truth might be different. That is why while thinking on any topic, we have to think in different ways. Because truth is not only the one. Truth can have different dimensions. For example, happiness for me might be roaming all about, visiting different places. If for someone else he will tell, for me if I am having a lot of money, I will be happy. So even happiness, it can have different dimensions. Each thing is true to that person. It reminds me about the waterfall. Once, 3 people were looking at the waterfall. One was a farmer, one was an industrialist, another was a painter. The farmer thinks, oh, this much water, if I would have got in my fields, how nice it would have been. So he is thinking about his fields, about his cultivation, water and all. Whereas the industrialist thinks, water is necessary even in industries as well. He thinks, I should set up industry somewhere nearby, so I can have some water from here. The painter is having another idea. He is a painter. He feels, I should have been lived here only nearby. So daily I would have come here, sat and drawn nice paintings. Look at the nature, how beautiful it is. So each one is thinking in different way. That is why you are knowing many times when we ask the children, we get different answers. But the answers are really truthful from the point of view of child. That is why we say, child is the father of man. Have a nice day.